I'd rather stick my head in a bucket full of scorpions and battery acid than say anything about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump says that he's bringing the Republican Party together.
I get along with people. I'm a unifier. I'm very much a unifier.
But the GOP is more divided than ever.
Dishonesty is Donald Trump's hallmark.
Is the GOP as divided as it seems?
More than 6 months ago, you pledged to support the Republican nominee, whoever that may be. Do you continue to pledge whoever the Republican nominee is?
No, I don't anymore. Look.
You don't?
No.
We went to CPAC, the mecca of the conservative movement,
to see how they're dealing with the rise of Donald Trump.
Do you think Donald Trump is a conservative?
The senators that he helped elect are the ones who wrote Obamacare.
It's made the transition to being a Republican a lot harder for me personally. I feel like I have to answer for every single thing that he's said or what how people in his audience are. Because for me, I actually really do believe in conservative values.
Many conservatives don't even think Donald Trump is one of them.
I don't know how people consider him a conservative, really.
So they really, really don't want to vote for him.
Let's play a game. Would you rather vote for Donald Trump or walk across hot coals with Joe Biden holding your hand the whole time?
Biden.
Can I frolic with him and at the end, can he kiss me on the cheek?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'd be okay with this.
Would you rather vote for Donald Trump or have to eat kale for the rest of your life? Like, only kale?
Well, I'm a pescatarian, so I'd rather eat kale.
That would actually be amazing. It's like the superfood. So for sure, kale.
Okay, would you rather vote for Donald Trump or have to attend a 12-hour-long seminar on microaggressions?
I'm feeling a little triggered right now.
I'm a huge microaggression right now, aren't I?
I would call it a macroaggression.
But of course, there's a limit.
Scenario, which probably could potentially happen. Would you rather vote for Hillary or Donald Trump?
I'd vote for Bloomberg. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would probably have to research third parties and go with that.
If a gun was to my head and said I had to vote for one of the two of them, I would take the bullet.
You only have two options.
They're both Democrats.
In reality, I think the Republican Party needs to rally around whoever's going to win the nomination at this point.
If it's against Trump or Hillary, gotta go with Trump then. You would rather vote for Donald Trump than Hillary?
Yes, yes.
So if conservatives are all making that face, where is Trump's support even coming from?
I mean, I think you're gonna have to talk to some experts. There's a lot of theories about that.
Oh my God, my friend Chris works right here. This is perfect.
Wait, are you talking about the Bernie sandwiches guy?
Bernie sandwiches.
Yeah. Chris.
Yes.
Oh my God, I have a question for you. Do you have a few minutes?
I do.
So if Republicans don't think that Donald Trump is a conservative,
Right.
how is he the front runner?
Because conservatism isn't that important to a big part of the Republican base, it turns out. Conservatism, in the self-conception of so-called conservatives, is about limited government, free markets. What the base is responding to is just straight up nationalism. It's not a question of how big government should be, but who government should work for. A limited government conservative, you think, oh, government shouldn't do X, Y, and Z because that interferes with the market. If you're a nationalist, you don't care that much about where those lines are drawn. You care about who is the government delivering for, who are they protecting, who's at the center of what the government does. And we've seen that kind of nationalism, that kind of right-wing nationalism in Europe with lots of parties that are perfectly happy to be part of the big government as long as they control it for their people. Right. That's what Donald Trump's tapping into.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, you're the best. I'll see you soon. Oh, and here's your sandwich. Chris is right. A majority of Republicans believe that preserving Social Security and Medicare is more important than cutting the deficit. And 52% of Republicans say they're annoyed that corporations aren't paying their fair share. So maybe Donald Trump isn't a conservative, but he's clearly tapping into the conservative base. But the problem for him is going to be that 17% of Republicans will not support him if he's the nominee. So Donald Trump may not seem like a unifier right now, but he's going to have to be one if he wants to win. You having fun yet? So you would rather die than vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I would much rather.
Is there like a specific kind of death that like you would not want in order to not vote for Donald Trump?
I would take eternity in hell.
I think the Republican Party needs to realize that it's changing, and they got to figure out what to do, because the train's leaving the station, and a guy like Trump, if he wanted to, could probably turn around and grab a couple other people that are running for office and say, let's start the new Republican Party. It's not as if history hasn't done that before.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. I think there's like a real cleavage moment. And a huge part of it has to do with the fact that I don't think conservatives in Washington, the professional Republican political class, the professional conservative movement, have delivered much for their base, frankly.
Don't die.